everybody. Welcome to our Diesel Dreamers team call. It's December 5th, and today we have a super duper special guest, Jenaleigh Landers. I'm so excited to have her on this call. Jenna and I connected because of Beachbody and because of my coach, Christina. She tagged me in a post, a recognition post for Jenna. So it's kind of a funny story. Jenna is super awesome. If you guys don't know yet, now you know. But we've been working together since about, June-ish, right? It's like a month or so before Summit. We officially met at this past Summit, but we've been working together ever since. We've been running trainings together and doing different collaboration and stuff with our teams, having like weekly success partner meetings and masterminds. So I'm so blessed to have connected with her and met her through this opportunity, but more so than anything, like we've become friends through this. So I'm so happy to call you my friend as well. And she is a 3-star diamond coach. She's a founder of Team Free to Be. She is a consistent Success Club earner. She is a total girl boss, badass, doing this full time. She is such a great leader. She's always trying to create new content for her team and give them all the support and tools that they need to be successful. She's attending the New Leader Conference in February, so that's super exciting. That's like an amazing accomplishment. And she is the fur mom to Harley, who's super cute. So go stalk her page because he's adorable. But yeah, I value our friendship and our connection and our partnership, and I'm super excited for you to talk to our teams tonight about goal setting for the new year, because last week Jenna and I had our weekly call, and she was telling me this kind of method that her corporate mentor was explaining to her of how to break down your goals and kind of break them down, for lack of a better words, to really get to the nitty gritty of what you need to do in order to accomplish them. So instead of setting these like flashy goals that, oh, that looks great, and you have the whole year to complete, it's sort of breaking it down so you know exactly, okay, what steps do I need to take and how am I going to get there? So she's going to explain all that to you. And if there's anything I missed for your accolades, feel free to include them, girl. But yeah, I love you. I'm going to mute myself, and the floor is yours.
Well, thank you so much, Paulina, for the introduction. You're so sweet. I have to say, my internet's being a little spotty, so I hope I don't freeze. I guess if I'm frozen at any point, just let me know, because I'm going to share my screen with you guys, so I probably won't be able to see the chat. All right, let's see. Can you guys see my screen okay? Okay. Perfect. So yeah, I always have a few technological issues when I start any call, so I always like to warn everyone before I get going. But yeah, as Paulina said, I had a call with my corporate mentor, which is another perk of, rank advancing your business. You get to have these awesome mastermind sessions with corporate mentors who are 100% invested in you and your team's success. So having this conversation with my mentor, Kevin, last week or 2 weeks ago, really opened my eyes as to what I can be doing better with goal setting and how I can teach my team. So I'm really excited to share with you guys, and hopefully it will help you take those amazing and big goals that you have for yourself in this business and break them down a little bit so that you kind of know what you have to do every single day to make that goal a reality. So I just wanted to share really quickly about me when I first started this business, so you guys can get a sense of who I am and like what my frame of mind was when I started back in February of 2014. So to summarize it in a nutshell, I was a hot mess back in February of 2014. I was very self-conscious with my body. I've always suffered with, body image issues. And I was going through a really rough time because my dad had passed away from cancer about a year earlier. And I was just like, I was going through the motions every day at my job in advertising, but I would come home, I would eat my feelings, I would be really depressed, and I just looked at life through such a negative lens. But that experience, one of the hardest moments in my life, really inspired me to do something more inspiring and fulfilling with my life. And I found coaching. I started to get results, and I started to explore the coaching opportunity in a nutshell, because my story is so complex. But basically I saw my coach and I was like, I need that in my life. I can either choose to be depressed and negative my whole life, or I can choose a path that's going to make me feel like I have a purpose and is going to allow me to give back. So like Paulina said, I left my advertising job in April of 2015, and I've been doing this business full-time ever since. And I really decided to go full-time because I believed in the opportunity. As a businesswoman with a business background, I saw the growth potential in this business, and I've been just moving forward ever since. But when I first started coaching, I didn't put a lot of effort into it. I didn't set goals. And when I did start to set goals, I set goals based on what I thought were the goals that I had to set to be successful. I thought that I saw people rank advancing on my team page and, talking about Success Club, and I only stayed in that bubble. So I'm going to give you guys some additional ideas that you can focus on tonight, whether you're a new coach or whether you've been doing this for a little bit. So my goals, like I said before, weren't specific. And this year, especially going into next year now, I know how to make them more specific, and it's really going to help me transition, and it's going to help you guys transition from being a coach into becoming a CEO. And a lot of people don't treat this business like an actual business, but it is a business, and it's one that will blow your mind if you take it seriously. And the first step to taking it seriously is coming up with your goals and taking, a couple hours to hash them out and really taking that process seriously. So I came across this quote, and it goes along with that coach to CEO mindset, but a goal without a plan is just a wish. And if we keep saying like, it would be really nice to make this my full-time job, that's kind of just a wish. You're not really setting any action steps towards making that a reality. So I want you guys to start off by asking yourself, what worked well this past year for you? Even if you're have only been in the business a couple months, what's working well for you? What do you think you're doing well? Ask yourself, what didn't work well for you? Where did you struggle? And sort of break that down. Also ask yourself, what are you willing to do better in 2017? Is it committing more time to your business? Is it sacrificing TV time? What is going to help you focus more energy and effort on your business? And I also want to ask you guys, are you tracking anything in your business? This is something I'm so guilty of. And talking with my mentor, I was like, I need to get on the ball because I'm not being a CEO if I'm not tracking my business. And we're going to talk a little bit more about how you can do this later on. And then finally, I want you guys to ask yourself, is what you're doing right now going to help you reach your goals? And when I asked myself that question, again, it was a lot of what I was doing, yes, but there are some huge gaps in my business that I need to take the time to refocus on and improve on going into 2017. So goal setting doesn't have to be complicated, especially if you follow this technique I'm going to break down for you guys. So the first step in really breaking down your goals is making a list of your high-level goals, which we'll talk about in the next slide. But basically things like, I want to earn, $50,000 this year, or I want to go to the New Leader Conference. Those would be high-level goals. And I want you to categorize your goals. So whether they're related to personal development or leadership or duplication in your business. And once you categorize your goals, I want you to start to think about how you can break those those large goals, high-level goals, down into achievable steps through the mind mapping method. And I'm going to show you guys visually, so you probably have no idea what I'm talking about right now, but it will make more sense. But if you sit there and say, I want to make $1,000, that's great, and that's a great goal, but you need to then think through, what do you need to do? What can you control to help you get there? And what are some of the things that you can't control necessarily that are going to help you get there, but maybe you need to shift your efforts in that area a little bit more. So whether that's recruiting more coaches every month or getting better with duplication in your downlines. So when you break that goal down into tangible steps, it makes that $1,000 a week goal not so far-fetched. And it gives you steps to take to focus on achieving that every day. Because I know when I set these big, crazy goals for myself, I'm like, can that really happen? That's like so far out there. So you need to break those big goals down, because if you don't, you're going to keep giving yourself that safety net, like, oh, if I don't hit it, that's okay. But if you have those daily steps, it's kind of like you have it right in front of you. You have what you need to do to get to that big goal. And I also want you guys to know, don't underestimate what you're capable of. When you're setting goals, you really have to dream big and think big and believe in yourself, and know that if you are consistent, then even the biggest mind-blowing goals can be achievable when you break them down. Okay, so here are some examples of high-level goals. I'll just go through the list, but I want to earn $50,000 in 2017. I want to attend the New Leader Conference in 2017. I want to build my cold market on Instagram. I want to earn Success Club 10 every month. I want to end the year as a 5-star diamond coach. I want to be a team leader according to the leadership ladder requirements by the end of Q1 of 2017. So those are big goals. They sound great. Like on paper, they look great, but we have to take it to the next step. So that would be, once you have those high-level goals, you want to categorize them. And I just, in bold here, you're going to see different types of categories, and you can add to this list, you can take away from this list. What you have to look at this list and see what is beneficial for you in the stage of your business that you're in right now. But the first one, personal development, that's beneficial for everyone on this call. And then you can break down the goals in that category. So ask yourself, where can you improve with personal development? Do you need to focus more on your mindset? Do you need to have a balance with the leadership type of books that you're reading or listening to? Will you attend some sort of conference, whether it's local or whether you have to travel to get there? Will you read a certain amount of books every single month, or do you have a goal for the year that you want to read? And what types of topics will you focus on? So those are just some thought-provoking questions for you guys to get some ideas for the types of goals that you can be setting in that category. The next one is my business. And this is really meant to be the things that you can control. Because if you're putting certain rank goals down, you can only control that to a certain extent. So I want you guys to focus on the things that you can control. So what you're doing with your social media efforts, if you have any tracking systems in place, how can you improve there? How many people that you personally want to help every single month? How much you want to earn in commission every single month? How many invites you're going to do every single day? How you're going to focus on growing your cold market, and how you're going to structure your day so that you're productive with the business and that you're being consistent with the business. The next is personal leadership growth. So this could be anything from attending a certain Beachbody event or special conference or training. Will you host a get-together for your coaches on your team? Attend a leadership development conference? Speak on team calls? Host your own team calls and sort of start to fly out of the nest a little bit? That's going to definitely help you establish more personal growth in relation to your leadership. Another category is developing leaders on your team, which can take some time. But are you going to run groups or trainings with other coaches on your team? Are you going to start to research how you can ask better questions to help develop those leaders on your team? Find new ways to engage with the team and build that culture within your team that you want? And how many coaches do you need to help to get to a leadership conference that you want to attend? Another category is duplicating your business. So how will you reward business building behavior in your team? Will you teach and reward Success Club growth? Will you run coach sneak peeks to make it easier for your new coaches on your team to talk about coaching? Those are some of the things that I started to think about in this category. And then finally, your personal goals. So these may be things that aren't necessarily in your control yet, but they're things that you want to focus on and make a conscious effort to focus on in 2017. So how many diamonds will you help grow on your team? What are your income goals? And breaking those goals down. Do you have any rank goals? And do you have any big team goals that you really want to rally behind with your team in 2017? So the mind mapping technique. This is how I started to break down some of my goals. And I just threw a couple of generic examples in here. So hopefully you guys can start to see this concept and how it can fit into your business. So with this first goal here being, I want to earn Success Club 10 every month in 2017. So this would kind of fall under the category of my business and is something that you control because you control how many people that you get to help every month. So if you want to earn Success Club 10 every month, that means when you break it down further, you have to get 5 people started with a challenge pack every single month. And then as you can see, you have 3 spikes, I guess I'll call them for lack of the right terminology, but 3 spikes that go off of helping 5 people with a challenge pack. So is it, creating 2 posts a week that publicly invite to your challenge group? Maybe it's sending out, 5 challenge group invites a day. Or maybe, you're also offering some sort of incentive program for referrals. So if you're asking your customers like, hey, do you know anyone who may want to join our next group? If you send someone my way and if they sign up with a challenge pack just like you did, then I'm going to reward you as a thank you and send you a little present or whatever you decide to do. But those are all different things that you can do when broken down, into actionable steps every single day of the month to get you to that monthly goal. And then it will get you to that yearly goal because you'll be consistently doing it every single month. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, good. I hope I haven't lost anyone. Okay, this slide is definitely a little bit more complex, but I wanted to show something that could maybe speak to some of the coaches who have been doing this a little bit longer. So this is, this slide is focused on that category of leadership. And, perhaps, and I totally put the wrong name of this conference on here, but attend the NLC conference, right? It's not in Coronado, so ignore that. But you can break that goal down into 2 different spikes to start. So to attend the NLC conference, you have to be a 2-star diamond and you have to have, I think it was 30 elite points to attend. So if you have a goal of attending the New Leader Conference in 2018, you'll want to keep those goals in mind. So how you can get to 2-star diamond, you can break that down. So to be a 2-star diamond coach, you need a coach on your left leg, you need a coach on your right leg. So coach A right here, perhaps they're a coach that you already have and they're either at diamond or they're close to diamond. So you know where you are there. on your right leg, maybe you don't have any coaches who are close to Diamond. Maybe you don't have any business building coaches there. So you already know, in order for me to get to this conference, I have to help someone on my team or a challenger convert to becoming a coach and help show them the potential that this business offers. And how can you do that, right? You can think through that one step further. You can do that by, running your own sneak peeks every month. That's a great way to start. And sort of taking that leadership role upon yourself and speaking to the people who are in your challenge groups, who you have helped. Because what I've found is that I can run sneak peeks for my teammates, but when they're adding people to that group, those prospects want to hear from the coach who added them. They may not be able to connect with me in my stories. So it's really important, if recruiting is one of your goals this year, to sort of start to do those sneak peeks on your own. So the other side of attending this specific NLC conference is elite points. And this is a huge topic in and of itself. But to earn elite points, there are 3 different categories: Success Club, Team Personal Volume, and ATV. So Success Club, this could be along the same lines of what we talked about last month. Earning Success Club, or in the last slide, sorry. Earning Success Club 5 each month, which breaks down to 3 challenge packs a month. Also along that Success Club branch is teaching your coaches how to hit Success Club. So thinking through, how can you do that in your team? Is it rewarding that behavior and doing Success Club shout-outs? Is it doing some sort of Success Club incentive for your team? That helps break down your actions a little bit better than just saying, I have to hit Success Club every single month if I want to achieve this conference. For the Team PV branch, perhaps you're running team challenges, or you're doing a quarterly refresh challenge within your team and within your downline. And then for ATV, perhaps that means that you're adding new people to your team and teaching your coaches how to duplicate that within their teams. So I know a lot of coaches, I believe on this call, are new, so you're probably I have no idea what you're talking about. But for the more experienced coaches, hopefully this helps you think bigger in terms of some of your goals. So aside from just setting goals, something that was really important that I talked to my mentor about when we had our discussion was tracking our business and how that's only going to benefit us moving forward. So sorry, I'm just moving this over so I can see all my type. Hold on one second. Okay, so starting to track your business. Ways that we talk through this that may give you guys some ideas for your own business is, thinking through, how many times does it take you to invite someone before they typically say yes? If someone asked me that right now, I honestly have no idea, because my tracking system is terrible for the people that I'm reaching out to. I have no idea how many times I've invited someone, how many times I've followed up, but that's something that, to transition into that CEO that I know that I am, I need to start doing that, because that's going to help me predict better moving forward. Also, once someone's in a challenge group, how many rounds does someone typically stay in your challenge group before they decide to explore coaching? If you can say, I'm adding 5 people into my challenge group, and I know based on what I've tracked in the past that 2 of those 5 are most likely to explore coaching, then you know that if you're bringing 5 people into your group every month, you're going to be able to add 2 new coaches to your team. And that's pretty cool to be able to track and predict over time. So it's important to start tracking that stuff now. And then also something you guys can think about in relation to that is, once someone says yes to coaching, how long is it before they start to actively sign people up and earn Success Club and really start running with the business? Because as we know, it takes time to get to know the business and be comfortable in sharing. So it's good to know that type of thing too. And I'm probably going to start an Excel sheet. Like I said, I haven't started this yet, but it's something that is so important. Also, you guys can think about tracking your progress of your challengers, because if you're not, tracking their progress and how they're doing towards reaching their individual health and fitness goals, then maybe, they're going to fall off track a little bit easier. So you have to ask yourself, do you know how many pounds so-and-so is down? Do you know how much closer they are to reaching that big goal of theirs so that you can help motivate them to move forward? And do you have some sort of file or binder for success stories that are coming out of your challenge group? Because if you don't, that may make it harder for people to want to join your groups moving forward, because you're not going to have anything to share with them. Like, you're not going to have any success stories, which is going to inspire them to join you. So something like that is really powerful to have. I know I have a couple success stories up on my website now, but again, that's something that I plan to put a bigger focus on at the end of this year and all of next year. And then finally, a book that was super helpful for my mentor that I have to pick up, but I wanted to share with you guys, is the book Change Anything by David Maxfield and Carrie Patterson. So that's something that's going to help you really understand goal setting a little bit more if you're looking to dive into it a little bit deeper. So I definitely recommend checking out that book. So to sort of close things up here are some next steps that will probably be really helpful for you guys to take. So take a hard look at your business and, like I was saying earlier, figure out what didn't work, what worked well, and create actionable goals based around those things. You have to really be willing to take a hard look at yourself and your business and realize that, not everything is probably perfect. There are probably areas where you can focus on, and as long as you're willing to improve, your business is gonna improve. If you're willing to learn and grow, that's what every successful coach is doing. So you have to be willing to do that to move forward. Then you want to create high-level goals, categorize them, and use that mind mapping technique that we put out there. Where possible, put dates. So whether you want to achieve a goal by the end of the quarter, by January 21st, get as specific as possible so that you have something to push for. And set dates that kind of scare you a little bit, because if you don't, then you're always going to say, you're going to have an excuse as to, why you're not pushing hard enough, because that date isn't it's too far off, so it's not going to push you enough. And then once you've done that and you've mapped out your goals and really broken them down, you want to schedule a call with your upline coach to talk through those goals, and you should be able to tell your coach what your big goal is and the path that you're going to take to get there. And if there are some gaps in there, your coach is going to be able to help you fill in the gaps, give you suggestions as to how you can break a goal down a little bit more, or perhaps share a goal with you that maybe you hadn't thought of before. And then once you kind of nail that down, you want to bring this to your coaches and you want to ask them to do the same, because if you're connected with your coach's goals, then that's going to help you help them in 2017. It's going to help them stay accountable. And every time you get on the phone and talk to your coaches, if they're struggling, then you're going to pull out their goal list and you're going to say, how are you doing with X, Y, and Z that you put on this mind mapping method or technique? And that's going to help you keep your calls structured and effective and help everyone really be successful with their goals. So the last slide here is just another little quote, but set daily, monthly, and long-term goals and dreams. Don't ever be afraid to dream too big. Nothing is impossible. If you believe in yourself, you can achieve it. And that is 150% true. So set those big, scary goals, guys, because it's going to be so worth it in the end when you look back and see all that you've achieved through this opportunity. So I hope that was helpful. I feel like I just rushed through that. So is anything unclear? Are there any questions that you guys want to ask?
Well, I just wanted to hop in and say that was amazing. Thank you so much. Like I said, when she shared this first with me, I was like mind blown. I'm like, that makes so much sense. Why haven't I thought about that before? Because like I said, sometimes, especially at the beginning of the year, we set like these big lofty goals, and that's great. I'm all about it. But if you don't have smaller action steps that you can take each and every day, every quarter, every few months or whatnot, it's going to be a lot harder to reach those goals, especially at the end of the year when you're like, oh crap, I'm not where I wanted to be. So doing this type of roadmap, setting dates, like she said, to be more specific and kind of give you that deadline so that way you're not pushing it off until the last quarter of the year trying to hit these bigger goals. But just being mindful about where you're at in your business now, self-evaluate, okay, what can I do better? What are areas I can improve on? Where am I willing to make sacrifices and put more time into and focus and energy into these certain things that will help me reach my XYZ goals? And these are things too that you can share not only with your coaches and your teams, but with challengers. Because when someone tells you, okay, I want to lose 20 pounds, all right, you have to break that down, right? Like, it's not going to happen overnight. Like, okay, you plug them into the 20 Day Fix in Shakeology, but you need to kind of help them step by step. Okay, make sure you're drinking all your water, right? Make sure you're setting your meal plan so that way you're not just kind of throwing meals together and you have no idea if you're, eating as many containers as you're supposed to be. Tracking your containers, right? Locking in your workouts, making sure you're staying consistent. It's all the same type of stuff. It's just a different goal that you're tackling and breaking down, right? So I think this is great, not only for ourselves, but in helping us to help others more and just breaking down all of our goals, not all Beachbody related goals. It could be personal goals, like she mentioned. Anything that you want to accomplish, you can. You got to believe it. You got to set it. You got to take massive action to make it happen. And I think this is great to end the year with, so that way we can kind of use that mind mapping technique and plan everything out for 2017. Share it with one another, with your uplines. I'm probably going to work on getting everybody on a call or doing a team call and kind of talking about our goals and breaking them down. If some areas are still too vague and not like very specific with action steps, I think it's going to be great doing maybe like quarterly check-ins and kind of see, okay, like where are you at? Are you on track? Where are things that maybe you fell short on? What are things that you're doing great at? This way you know your progress. And like she said, this is your business. You have to start treating it like a business. I'm at fault too. I'm terrible at tracking. I don't have a consistent system. I have tons of systems, but I don't use one. So I'm like an organized hot mess. So I think this is definitely the kick in the butt that I need to kind of like start fresh and get my crap together so that way 2017 can go a lot more smoothly and I can focus on other areas that I can improve on and will benefit me and my goals more. So thank you again, Jenna. And like she said, if anyone has any questions, feel free to unmute yourselves and ask away because this was like gold. So I'm so happy you shared this with us.
Yeah. I have a quick question. I know you said you didn't have your Excel sheet set up yet for tracking like how many, invites you send before someone joins and all of that. But when you do get that set up, if you could share that, that'd be cool because thinking about how to set that up just kind of stresses me out. But that was like a huge gut check for me because I have a contact list of when I've contacted people last. I try to fill it out as best I can, but like taking it to that next level and tracking it in that way is really the CEO mindset that I need to start shifting towards. So I appreciate you sharing that.
Of course. And I absolutely will share that with you because I have to create that like tomorrow. That's how important it is. And, I'm probably envisioning something that has a list of names and different stages. I really haven't broken it down more than that, but it will probably be based on, the individual people that I'm talking to, and I'll probably have it sorted by like most recently contacted going down. So, but yeah, I'll share it.
Thanks.
And I will say too, guys, when you're breaking down these goals, something that is really helpful to have, if you have one, use it, a whiteboard. So I made my boyfriend go on a hunt with me last week and find a whiteboard. And I have like this huge, massive board, and that the light kind of stinks in here, but I wrote out all those little circles here. Can you guys see that?
I love it.
Probably not my small writing, but I went through all of my goals, broke them down, but I liked that the board was big enough where I could see the different categories still, so I could add as I was, brainstorming other groups. But if you don't have a whiteboard, maybe just a piece of computer paper or something, and you can map it out and make this whole big section of your goals, so you can refer back to that, send them to your coach or your corporate sponsor if you do have one.
Definitely. And if you're not a super like techie person like me, if you like paper and pen, then just buy one notebook, like one really big notebook, and keep that as like your tracking system. So maybe have like separate, like maybe like a 3 binder notebook or whatever they call those things, right? I don't even know anymore because I haven't been in college in so long. But just having, like a space for maybe like people that you're inviting, a space for your current challengers, a space for your coaches, right? So you have separate tabs or whatever. And then it can even be like a little check mark with like a date saying that you message this person and you send them an invite. It doesn't have to be something complicated. As long as you understand your system and you're consistent with updating it, I think that's the most important thing. Just find what works for you and stick to it. Because like it doesn't have to be one way, or like what Jenna does or what, somebody else, a successful top coach does. Like, it doesn't matter. Bonnie Engel is number like 2 or 3 or whatever in the network, and she uses a notebook, and she just writes down a list of all the people she invites that month, and she highlights the people who buy a challenge pack or get signed up as a coach, whatever, and then whoever's left on the list, she just transfers them to the next month, and she just keeps rolling people over until they get crossed off of her list. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, it's just about being consistent and tracking it and staying up to date with who you're talking to, and like Jenna said, like what stage they're at kind of. So maybe it's like little symbols or something, whatever. If someone's giving you a certain objection, maybe put there like a little money sign if that's what's stopping them, whatever. However it works for you, make it work for you.
Yeah, you'll figure out what works for you and what little symbols that you understand that no one else is going to understand. It definitely doesn't have to be one way. Same thing with like your power hour system. Everyone has a different system. That's why I feel like I have not nailed a certain system down for this tracking, because there's so many different ways that you guys can do that. I will actually share, there is a whiteboard system that one of the coaches on my team did, and let me see if I can find it and share it with you guys just so you can see.
Yeah, she's super organized in hers. I need to get on that level.
Yeah, I was like, wow. I don't know if I can do this with my whiteboard, but let's see. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
So this is a coach on my team's whiteboard, and on the bottom, you can see like she's tracking the progress of her system. It's not necessarily breaking down like how many times she invited, but she has like a section for the discount coaches and one colored tab, a section for her challenge group. She said something like the orange tabs were coaches, the blue was her customers. Then if they decide to go from a challenge group to the coach group, she'll pull them out of the challenge group, stick them in the next column. If they decide to become an active coach, they move to the next column. If they become an emerald, they move to the next. Star diamond, they move to the next. So she really has this all laid out visually on her board in terms of like who's in her current system. So this is another way that you can keep track of like your current discount coaches, challenge group participants. It doesn't get as detailed of what Paulina and I were just talking about, but it does help visually show you, what's going on. So that's pretty cool, I thought. I was like, wow, I love this. I need to do this too. See, there's so many options.
Yes, for sure. Does anyone else have any questions or comments for Jenna? We're all good. I think that was pretty clear and it was awesome. I have the PowerPoint. She sent it to me, so I'll share it in our team page in case anyone missed anything or wants to like review it or print it out or whatever. But thank you, girl. I'm so
You're
happy
welcome.
to get on this call and share this information with us. I think it'll be very, very useful and valuable to all of us. But yeah, nothing will change unless you use it, right? So take action from whatever she shared with you, what she taught about us tonight. Make sure you're using it and implementing it and staying consistent. That is key, right? So with that being said, I'm gonna take our signature team call picture. So everybody, make sure you smile and pose. I just want to thank you all for being here tonight. So, oh wait, hold on. My Christmas tree lights are getting in the way.
I love your tree. It's cute.
Thanks, girl. Ready? 1, 2, 3, smile. Awesome. Thank you, guys. I will have a recording up soon, if not by tonight or tomorrow early, and I'll share it with you, Jenna, if you want to share with your team also. And yeah, let's kick some butt in December. Let's use this method. Let's set our goals, not only for this month, but for the coming year and really, truly crush it. Yay, I love it, Coco.
Love it.
Yeah, awesome. All right. Well, have a great night, everybody. Take care. And we'll talk soon.
See you guys.